Dare to delve into the depths of darkness and embark on a journey into the realm of spine-chilling tales. I am JJ, your guide through the enigmatic corridors of fear and fascination. In this haunted realm, we unearth the most haunting narratives that linger on the fringes of reality, stories that will send shivers down your spine and grip your imagination. Join me on this immersive exploration of the macabre, where each story unravels the threads of the inexplicable and beckons you to confront the shadows that lurk within. Subscribe, brace yourself, and immerse your senses in the chilling tales that await in the corridors of horror haunt by JJ. Are you ready to face the fear? Prepare to be captivated by the unexplained as we explore the eerie corridors of the mind, where reality blurs with the supernatural. In Nocturnal Terror, a night of intrusion, witness the heart-pounding moments when the mundane transforms into the malevolent and the unseen creeps ever closer. Back when I was 15, a chilling ordeal unfolded, forever etching a tale of fear into my memory. The events transpired with my closest confidant, Ethan, when he invited me to spend the night while his parents embarked on a weekend getaway. The night commenced with my bike safely stowed in Ethan's backyard. Stealthily entering through the back door, we delved into a marathon of video games, spanning from FIFA to Call of Duty, amidst scattered popcorn and an assortment of junk food strewn across the floor. As the hours ebbed, our engagement transitioned from gaming to an unfinished movie, eventually devolving into prank calls as the clock neared 10 o'clock. Giggles erupted as we made playful calls to assorted pizza joints, relishing in the transient thrills of teenage antics. When my turn to make a prank call arrived, I dialed a random number with palpable anticipation. A deep, gravelly voice greeted me with a curt yeah, replacing the anticipated hello. Amused by the absurdity of the situation, I struggled to suppress my laughter. My inexperience with prank calls was glaringly evident, and the ensuing awkwardness prompted fits of amusement, while my friend Ethan's laughter echoed in the background. The recipient of the call maintained an eerie silence. Regaining composure, I inquired, sir, would it be okay if I borrowed one of the wheels from your car? Identifying myself as Bob, I attempted to maintain a facade of confidence. Abruptly, the truth came crashing down. Ethan's countenance transformed from amusement to dread, for I had inadvertently mentioned his actual name. Instinctively, I hung up the phone, seeking refuge in the riddle's unraveling. The enigma remained unresolved as we huddled before a computer, fervently seeking to decipher the puzzle of extracting a name from a phone number. Bewildered by the speed at which Ethan's name had been unveiled, we resorted to posting our query on Yahoo Answers, only to find no parallel experiences. Despite the inclination to inform Ethan's father, he demurred, wary of defying his parents' directive against having guests over. The living room was designated as our sleeping quarters, and as the unresolved puzzle slipped from our immediate concerns, we resumed watching our abandoned movie. A distant memory rekindled when a creaking storm door and a fumbling doorknob breached the hushed night. The TV's glow faded as Ethan and I exchanged apprehensive glances. Stealthily advancing toward the window, I parted the blinds and locked eyes with an imposing figure outside. Startled by my gaze, he shifted his attention, locking his piercing stare onto me before vanishing into the shadows. A wave of panic overcame me as I dashed back to Ethan. Fear-stricken, we took refuge in the kitchen, attuned to every echo in the quietude. The gate to the backyard squeaked open, inciting a guttural curse as realization struck Ethan's back door had been inadvertently left ajar. Terror tugged at my heartstrings as I dashed to rectify my mistake. However, my mission halted abruptly as a haunting silhouette appeared outside the back door, peering in with a disconcerting intensity. I held my breath, praying to remain unnoticed. The intruder gained access, his footsteps echoing ominously as he probed his surroundings. A plan forged within our panic-ridden minds led us to Ethan's room. Concealing ourselves beneath the bed, we shrouded our presence with the cloth obscuring the bed's base. Doors downstairs groaned open, inching closer to the stairs. Each advancing step heralded our impending confrontation. The footfalls ascended, reaching the landing just beyond the room's entrance. The door yielded to the trespasser's touch, opening a gateway to our hiding place. My heart pounded like a relentless drum, and Ethan's erratic breathing risked discovery. Seeking to muffle his breaths, I clamped my hand over his mouth. Silence reigned as time stretched agonizingly. Had he departed, or was he lurking among us, a spectral specter of dread? The ominous pause finally broke with a soul-chilling scream, a sound that etched itself indelibly upon my consciousness. A desperate struggle ensued, culminating in Ethan being dragged from his haven beneath the bed. Fueled by terror and adrenaline, I seized a screwdriver and launched myself at the assailant, thrusting the makeshift weapon into his back. A guttural cry erupted, releasing Ethan from his captor's grasp. We fled, racing into the night, diving into the obscurity of the woods, every rustling leaf amplifying our dread. We concealed ourselves behind a bush, breathless and trembling, our eyes locked onto the darkened house. Footsteps prowled nearby, the intruder's presence an unshakable specter. Our hearts pounded in synchrony as our would-be captor's pursuit took an unpredictable turn. He vanished into the night, leaving us to grapple with the horrors we had barely escaped. The passage of 5 years has wrought silence, no ominous knocks, no chilling encounters. The connection between the enigmatic phone call and the harrowing break-in remains elusive, a puzzle tantalizingly unresolved. Yet, the scars of that night serve as a reminder of the fragile boundary between safety and the abyss of darkness. Venture into the abyss of the unknown and shadows of the basement, a terrifying encounter where ordinary spaces transform into realms of terror and the darkness conceals horrors beyond comprehension. In my youth, I had a close companion named Jordan. At the tender age of 10, we reveled in the freedom of his expansive basement, a haven where we could immerse ourselves in video games until the eerie hours of the morning. Ignoring the mundane ritual of teeth brushing, we, like little rebels, would surrender to slumber on the cozy couches. One night, as the house lay shrouded in darkness, we surrendered ourselves to sleep. My eyelids fell effortlessly, and I descended into the realm of dreams. However, an obscure hour later, I awoke to an unsettling sight. The television's lifeless screen emitted a feeble glow, casting an eerie luminescence. Yet, it was not the television that commanded my attention, but a sinister silhouette lurking in the far reaches of the basement. Adjacent to the stairs, an enigmatic, towering entity stood, its features defying description, and its elongated form almost grazing the ceiling. The abrupt cessation of the television's hum and the subsequent plunge into darkness were sufficient to evoke a primal scream from my core. Averting my gaze, I squeezed my eyes shut and clung to stillness, my very being paralyzed with fear. The passage of time remains a haze, and my recollection fades into obscurity until I roused once more to the heart-rending wail that pierced the tranquility of the night. It was the anguished cry of Jordan's mother that jolted me into consciousness. Our eyes locked in mutual terror, and without a moment's hesitation, we bounded up the stairs, sprinting toward the refuge of his parents' quarters. In a heart-wrenching scene, we encountered his mother, her countenance awash with tears, while his father frenetically upturned the room in pursuit of the inexplicable. Anxious and bewildered, Jordan's father rushed past us, embarking on a frantic search throughout the house. Yet, no trace of an intruder could be discerned, no hint of forced entry or escape. As the enigma persisted, Jordan and I remained steadfast in our friendship through the years, bound by an unspoken pact to uphold the chilling secret. On rare occasions, I've broached the topic with Jordan, only to be met with his mother's staunch silence. It was only once, in a moment of vulnerability, that she confided in me, acknowledging the unsettling presence she had once glimpsed a looming, shadowy figure adjacent to their bedroom door. Undoubtedly, the terror I witnessed in the basement that fateful night was mirrored in the dark recesses of their lives. Our shared experience, shrouded in unspoken dread, forever binds us to the mysteries that linger, concealed beneath the surface. Journey through the unsettling and the obscuring whispers of the unseen, a nightmarish intrusion where whispers become cries, and the veil between reality and nightmare is torn asunder. In the annals of our relationship, my wife and I had weathered our fair share of disagreements. Yet, one fateful night stands as an unforgettable testament to the absurdity that can fuel marital discord. It all started with a triviality as mundane as a forgotten toilet seat. Her tirade, delivered with ear-piercing intensity, grated on my nerves, pushing me to my limits. I yearned for an escape, a respite from the relentless barrage. In my moment of exasperation, I reached out to my friend Mike, seeking refuge from the storm that had engulfed our home. He graciously offered his sprawling abode as a sanctuary, a brief reprieve from the chaos that reigned supreme in my household. As I stepped into the expansive haven that was Mike's house, the contrast between our dwellings loomed like a silent reproach, a point of contention my wife had frequently hurled at me. Mike and I shared a few beers, engaging in the camaraderie that only old friends could offer. Amidst the conviviality, he extended an open invitation to stay as long as necessary, a sanctuary to shelter me from the tempestuous turmoil. My intent was a mere one-night stay, a brief interlude to gather my thoughts and distance myself from the tempest that had become my marital reality. Nestled within one of the guest bedrooms, I sought solace in the embrace of restful slumber. The serenity of the night, however, was soon disrupted by an unexpected intrusion. Strange, unsettling noises emanated from the adjoining room, prompting a curiosity that demanded satisfaction. With a hint of apprehension, I cracked open the door to Mike's room, casting an inquisitive glance in his direction. He lay sound asleep, oblivious to the enigmatic cacophony that had stirred my unease. His nonchalant response to my inquiry only deepened the puzzle. Both adjacent rooms were invariably locked, a peculiar safeguard for reasons that remained shrouded in mystery. Content with his reassurances, I retreated to my temporary haven, endeavoring to dismiss the disconcerting sounds. Time drifted by, carrying me towards the brink of sleep. Just as the allure of slumber beckoned, a faint tapping resounded, its origin emanating from the neighboring room. Echoing through the partition, an almost imperceptible voice accompanied the intermittent taps, leaving me wide-eyed and trembling. The cryptic symphony of sound shattered any hope of reprieve, demanding further investigation. A sense of urgency propelled me back to Mike's quarters. This time, his response bore the weight of seriousness as we jointly approached the locked door that separated the enigma from our understanding. With a key in hand, Mike granted access, and as the door creaked open, a chill swept through the room, like a harbinger of the terrors that lay in wait. A chilling gust of air greeted our entrance, the window flung open with abandon. The closet yawned wide, a void of emptiness that seemed to mock our intrusion. Swiftly, we combed the space, unearthing telltale signs of occupation, the indents on the bed, the detritus within the closet. But the revelation that gripped our hearts was the absence of Mike's cherished possessions, vanished without a trace. Amidst the frenzied search, Mike's eyes locked onto the window, his instincts driving him into action. A dark figure leaped from the precipice, disappearing into the shadows. The impulse to pursue was undeniable, yet wisdom prevailed, sparing us from a potential confrontation with the enigmatic intruder. Retracing our steps, We ventured into the third guest room, where the scent of malevolence hung heavy. Blood-stained sheets whispered tales of unspeakable horror, and an abandoned knife lay discarded, a grim testament to sinister intentions. The room bore witness to a transient dwelling, where fiends had reveled in the secrecy of their clandestine occupation. With a jolt of realization, we understood the gravity of the situation. A malevolent force had infiltrated Mike's sanctuary. The unraveling tale spoke of vagabonds, driven by desperation and vice, their reign lasting over a week. Their stealthy presence explained the inexplicable disappearance of sustenance, mirrored by their emaciated frames that had struck us as curious during our conversations. The darkness that had woven its tendrils within the confines of Mike's home remained an enigma, cloaked in the abyss of anonymity. Despite our shared experience, justice remained elusive, and the echoes of that night would forever linger in the depths of our souls. Through the passage of years, the memory remains etched in my consciousness, a reminder of the unforeseen horrors that can lurk beneath the veneer of normalcy. As the years have unfurled, that haunting night still casts a pall over my existence, a testament to the fragility of safety and the malevolent shadows that can encroach upon our lives.